there, and I have all these items just to represent. I will come back into this item. So let me quickly finish the style for this one, which is this section here, and it is part of this order. So inside the order, we have this order wrapper, we have the order total group, and we have this order info there with the button. So let me go into the styles and be copying each one of them one by one. So have we done any styling here? Not done anything. Okay. So paste this style. So inside this place, we have the order wrapper like that. So inside it, we have the order total group. So copy this one to go to next line. Apart from this one, what do we have again? So I have this other info which I need to quickly work on because of the image that is there. Which other thing that I will now have this confirm order, and I think this button is being used somewhere else. So I don't know yet. Let me see the design. I think the button is being used somewhere else. Yeah, it's being used inside the model. So which means this is a generic stuff. So what I will not be using this one. So I will use a generic stuff to style it because it's not being used inside that place alone. So since it's not being used inside that place, what I will just do is to give it a generic class by using part. Let me just call it primary PTM. So it's going to be inside the global style because I don't want to do it here and still go and do the same thing in another component. That's waste of time. So since it's generic, then we put it inside the generic this which is the index there. So let me go back to the page we are working on. So go back to the previous page. There is it here. So expand so that we can see what we want to do. Reduce this one. Bring my page back. So where are we? We have this section here, which is the order itself. So we have these items, which are this each one of them here. And I think I need to give this one to a class. So I'm going to give it a class name, which is going to, yeah. So the AI has completed the stuff for me. So I have this list wrapper. Go to the page. This one should be up. So I need to arrange them in order. So paste this one like this. Yeah. So I will come back into all this one later on. Again, to let me give this one to class. So class will complete it now. So styles then dot item wrapper like this. So copy this one, save. Just to create all these necessary class down. So I'm going to have this. Yeah, so let's finish this part first. This one, which is this order info. So this one I want to display it as flex, and it needs to have this kind of a background stuff that is there. So we need to move them to center, both in vertical and in the horizontal axis there. So they need to be at the center. So JCC, then there should be a gap in between the image and the text. What's going on? So the gap should be 0.5, should be okay like this. And let me save it so that you can see what is going on. This carbon whatever stuff and the text should be side by side now. But that image is too big, so the other info, we have the image inside it. I don't know the width, but I'm just going to use maybe like this 10 pixels or so, or just use one RM. Oh, yeah, let me just use zero point 0.5. I know it's not too small. 8 pixels, it will be too tiny. So let me just use 0.75 RM, which is 12 pixels. So let's see what is going to give us. And that, yeah, which is really, really small. So let me just use 1.5 RM should be okay. which is I mean, this thing is that okay. I think it is okay like that. So what do we need to do? So this parent itself needs to have a padding, and it needs to have all these other things that is attached to it. So the padding, what's wrong with this thing? It's recording. So left and right, top and bottom should be zero point 0.5 rem, 1 rem for left and right. What's going on? See the recording at this. Start again. Okay, we have padding. We need the background, and I don't know which one we are to use there. I think is this rose. We have this rose. Okay, is the one. We need border radius, and should have this. But inside this order itself, the order wrapper, see they are jam packed together. But if you look at it, space in between them because the other wrapper is the one that is wrapping everything. For example, here let me use background of red, and you see that is the one that is wrapping everything together. So I need to display it as flex so that I can gap everything. So flex direction should be column, and the gap should be around that 1 rem like this so that we can have space in between all those items that is inside there. But we need padding. Do I need padding? No, I don't think I need padding. So that one will be there already. And I think this one here it's not. Let me add padding to it. So padding block top and bottom only. I don't need on the left and the right. So this should be the top one should be 1.5 rem. That should be more at the top so that it can be gapped from all these items. So it's going to have this spacing at the top there. So this one too, let me increase the padding for this one. Top and bottom should be this 0.75, this order, whatever stuff. So and inside it, if you check again, inside the order info, see we have span. So we need to make sure that the text is bold. So the order info, then there is a span there. So the font weight should be 700 like this. So 700 saved, and we should have that. Yeah. So let me remove this red stuff. So the other thing I need to work with is this order total. So this one too, we need to display it as flex because this order total and this price should be side by side, and so the gap should be 1 rem. Then justify content space between like that. So to justify content, I need to put the space in between each one of them, but they need to be aligned vertically in case uh, look like they are not vertically aligned. So let me use this align item center, and we should reduce this one, reverse what is here, because this is the one that's supposed to be bold, and this one should not be bold. And what do we have there? So if you look at it, we have H3 and we have P. So that H3, I need to remove this thing there. So order total group, there's an H3 inside it. So H3, the font weights by default all H tag they have 700, but I want it to go back to 400. The font weight is not that big. The font size rather, the font size rather is this 1 rem should be okay for it. So save, and we should have it. So now we need to do the opposites for that P tag that we have there. So the P, the font size should be around that 2 rem, 2 rem like this. Well, there is going to be a problem if your number is big, but I don't think nobody will order something that will be up to billions of this thing that will not make this thing. So then the font, but if you know that you are working with something that it can expand, so you need to cater for that. So font weight should be 700 and save. Then we should have this our stuff arranged properly. But there's a space between this naira and so why do we have that space? So where is it? Yeah, it's because we have the space here. So close the space and the space here too should be closed. Yeah. So this is what we need to have. Then lastly, let's work on this button before we move into the item. So I'm going to do that one inside the index.css because it's a generic stuff. So I have this primary button btn like this. The cursor should be a pointer. The cursor should be pointer VS Code. So this thing have padding of top and bottom 1 rem, left and right 2 rem, border radius should be 2 rem so that it can give us this curve edge 2 rem. What do we need? The color should be rose. Let me see. Let me go and check it. Rose. It is rose 50 for the color. Color is rose 50, and the background is this red. So saved, and we should have, but I don't have that line. I don't want that line. So border should be none. Like this. Is it having border when it is over? I don't know. But for now, I'll put it as none just so that we don't have this thing. So the font there, so the font size, that font is too small. It should be 1.125 rem, which is 18 pixels. Yeah. Like this. The weight too, it have a weight. So the font weight, I think is how many weight do we even have there? I think let me use 600. I don't know if we will actually add this weight of 600. Let me go up. Okay, we have okay, we actually have all of them. So that I think it's okay like that. Or let me leave it as 1 rem. Let me see. Oh, it's too big. The text there is too big. Yeah, it is okay. Like this. So we have the stuff. So now let's jump into the well, this thing looks big to me. This price of a thing that we have 2 rem. Let me use 1.75 rem like this, which is 28 instead of 32. Yeah, I think it is okay like that. So let's go into this other one that we have at the top. So we have this list wrapper. So the list wrapper is the one that holds everything here, but we've not even done anything about the list. So let's go and let's put all the necessary stuff that we need for that list. So let me close this order. We are done with it. So what we need to update now is these items. And if you look at these items, you can see that it is not just a simple box. There's some stuff that is going on with it. So the item is it here. So this is the item, which is this item wrapper. But inside the item wrapper, as you can see, there are two group there. We have this group here, and we have this action button here. And inside this first group, we have the title at the top, and we have these two stuff here, or you can even use three if you want. Like that, we just use gap to space them. So this is what we need to have there. So let me know where it to close. Go back like this so that we can see what we need to generate. From there, I'm going to have I even need to use. So I'm just going to use div then dot left section like this. So we have the left, we have the action, or if I want, I can just call it content. So contents, or if I want, I can use details depending on whatever names you want to use. So we have detail, and apart from detail, I have another div here. Is there more that I use div? You can just use button. Let me use button because it's an action. And since you need to click, so we need to use button. So this because you need to use semantic tag. And inside the button, we're going to have the image. But where's the image coming from? So we need to import the close icon image. So here, import close icon from, then go back, then inside there we are going to see assets, we are going to see icon, then from here we are going to see icon. I don't know the name. What's going on? Come outside. Yeah, so we have this icon remove item, so that's the name. So copy this one, then put it inside the source, and this one should just be close item in case it's not showing. So it's always good that you put it out. Then we have this button like this. So inside these details, as you can see, we need this one at the top, which is the title. So I'm going to use my H3 for that, and we'll call it title here. And after this one, I'm going to have a p tag. So inside this p tag, I will have three span. The first span is for, so I will have the span, and we have the span come outside now. So I will have the span. So this is 1x. So the second span is the one that is going to contain the price. So this is at 5 or 8358. So this is going to be whatever the price it's going to be. So in order for us not to touch this side again, I will just create all this item here. So title here, but I will replace them later on. So cons this one should be quantity. So quantity like this should just be 5. So beside this 1x, I will just put qty. So this one too, we'll replace it with that title, and then here too we create the price. So const no, what am I typing? So const price will just be let me use this my international stuff that I use down here. So whatever the price you supply into it, it will just format it for us. So yeah, just put the whatever stuff you want. So there I will just put 5,000 for now, just to represent. And again, don't forget this is modification of this one, and this one is what to give you this last one. So amount, oh, don't let me do it here. Don't let me do this one here. Let me do it down there. It's better doing so that I can do whatever calculation I want from here. Because this thing is going to be calculated based on the last one. So down here, it shouldn't be this. It should be price, and I did not put it in curly brace. So the last one too is going to be the same. The difference is just that that one is so cost total for this particular item, not this entire total. So we have the total. What is total? Total is just qty multiplied by whatever the price. So if you have 2 here, it will be 2 times this, it will give you that one. If it is 10 times this, we give you that one. But what is price? So right now I'm just going to put 5k. So now it's going to be 5 times 5,000. Whatever you have, that's what the total will be displayed. Because that's the thing. 4 times this is what gives 28. 2 times this is what gives 13. That's how it works. So that's what they are doing there. So now this thing, we don't need to do anything. Once it's there, it will update whatever it needs to update there. But here it's supposed to be total like this. So save it, and you are going to see for each one of them like that. So you can see 5 times this, you get 25,000. So if this thing change, if the quantity change, then the stuff too will change. So if I change it to 2, then it should change to 10,000 there. So we don't need to start doing the stuff by myself. It will always update. So and all this thing will come through the props. So we're going to send in all these things through the props. But for now, let's just have it here for design sake. But later on, when we are connecting everything together, we have to receive it from the props. And once it comes in, all this thing will update. But what did I have here? Is this in having at? Okay, I think that's all. So let's save it and go into our CSS and apply what we need. So I don't need this stuff again. I'm done with the layout, so I don't need to start showing that one. But first, let's start with the one that's old everything. Don't forget, can you see what is going on now? This thing is just expanding anyhow. Now imagine that these items here where we are rendering it, they are like 20. It means it's to just expand everything. But we want this in, you expand of, but there is a maximum height you get to that you will not expand again. But whatever that is inside, you should be able to scroll up and down. So that's what we need to do with this container. So first, let's display it as a flex. So let's display it as flex, and flex direction should be column because we want everything to still be on top of each other, and we need to give a gap because if you look at it, each one of them is having gap. So column, then the gap should be around this 1 rem. Let's see, it should be okay like this. Yeah, so again, maximum height now, because we don't want this thing to keep going like this. So maximum height, I think 300 should be okay. Let me see. But it's going to create a problem because now the content is going outside of it. So what do we need to do? We need to deal with our overflow. So overflow Y, because we don't need the X, it's only Y. So what do we need to use here? Not hidden. Or what you need is auto. So in case you need to scroll, give all that scrolling stuff. But if you don't need to scroll, don't show us anything because the content is 2. There's no way it will be up to this 300. But once it's more than that space, just give us the scrolling that the user can use to scroll up and down, as you can see now. So once the item pass what it needs to be there, it will give us the scroll. But if the content you have there is not up to whatever the maximum height that you specify, so if I change it to 2, there's only the 2 items, can you see now? So it will not show the scroll. It's when you're more than, and that's why we did not specify height or minimum. You just specify max. Expand, but once you get here, don't go again. Then whatever that is inside you, give us the scroll for it so that the user can scroll up and down. So, but I will bring everything back because what you'll be showing here is depending on what user click. So, but let me bring it back now for now so that it can show, and our design will always maintain that same height to never pass that place. In the original design, they did not mention anything like that, but that's how you do it. Except if you want this thing to keep expanding anyhow, which is bad because you don't want the user to keep scrolling up and down. So yeah, I think we are done with the container. So inside the items now is where we need to work. So I need to use this padding block because I need the spacing at the top for, because you can see each one of them after there's a underline stuff going on there. So padding block, top should just be maybe around that 0.5, then bottom should be 1 area. I don't know yet whether value is okay or not, but this is what I will use for now. So yeah, what do I need to do? Display it as flex. Don't forget there are 2 items inside it, so they need to be side by side, not like this, because this cross supposed to be at the other side, and it needs to be aligned to the center so that the X can be at the middle of this content like that. But we need to justify this also. This item wrapper like that, I want, because what I want to do is that everything here, this one should always go to the end. So let me do it from the parent. So justify content space between, just space them like that, and it should have a minimum of gap of this one. And in case there is no space, which I know there was only going to be space, but let me just put it like that. So inside this one, I think we have details which I need to enter later on. For now, let me just save it so that we can see the results. Yeah, so you can see now this one at the edge, but there's a problem. This scrolling stuff is jam packed with this, so it would be nice if we can apply padding. So we need to apply, so since I need to apply padding on the right too, I can just do this. So this is the top, this is left and right, but I don't want anything on the left. So this will be the I don't want this one too. So this one is a bottom. And lastly, wait oh, this is what I want. This one should be 1 rem. And lastly, on the left, I don't need anything. This is top. No, it's moving in a clockwise direction. So this is top, this is the right, this is the bottom, and this is the left. So on the left, I don't want anything, but on the right, I want this because I don't want this thing to jam pack with this edge. And I think this 1 rem is too much, so let me use 0.75 rem. Another thing you can do is to reduce this stuff here because the way to come outside depending on the browser you are using. If it is Firefox you are using, this is not the way to come outside. It's always this big or whatever stuff. But if you want to do it, what we can do here is to do the is from the parent because that's the one that is generating that stuff. So the list wrapper like this, so we can use our web kit. Come outside now. Web kit scroll bar like this. So what do we want to do? I want the width of it. So the width to just be 0.8 pixels like this. So whether it's on this thing, so the width should be, but this thing too, yeah. Since I've already specified this, I need to talk about the color too. So the list, that's why it disappear because we talked about it and we don't talk about this thing. So WebKit, scroll bar, thumb. Thumb is that thing that you're holding, that you're dragging. So let's give it that our color so that it matches our theme. So the color or no, the background should be that our red. What is wrong with you? Then what about the background of that place? So look at this thing here. This is what we call thumb. As you can see, this thing you are dragging is the thumb. But this thing have background too, like it have where it's scrolling over. So where it's scrolling over is what we call this track, or what is the name say? So the thumb is what you are holding. So let me give you border radius so that it looks like the way it is before, because now it's not having that radius again. But this thing might not work on Firefox because Firefox is kind of like crazy. It's not like the other this. But I think Firefox should be able to support it these days. Border radius 1 rem like this. So saved, we should have that round edge back. So if you want, you can work on the track too. I think let's do that one too. So the list wrapper web kit scroll bar track. So where the thumb is moving, that's the track. So from there we can give that one to background, and this one I'm going to use that our rows 50. No, yeah, this is white. Row 50 should work, but if it is not, I will use rows 100. Yeah, so you can see that it is there, but it is not that visible. So I can use this 100 so that it come out more. And as you can see, so you have this design, nice design there like that. So what do we need to do? Again, so where's my design? Click on this so that we can have the stuff. So let's continue with what we are doing here. So the details, I need to display it as flex, and I want this one to always cover up the remaining space that is left, because here now if I just use background of red, it's not doing that. I'm not seeing anything. That means the thing did not select. Is that not what I use? Yes, details. This thing is, let me use div because of this thing that I'm using. Yeah, so as you can see, it is not covering up the entire space. So flex should just be one. Whatever space that is left in the parent, just cover it up if anything is not using it. What's going on? Format my code. So you can see now it's covered up, but because of one gap, the gap we put there, so that one is yeah, so that I can utilize all this space, and it has put them side by side, but that's not what we want. So flex direction should just be column. Let me see the gap. The gap should be around 0.75, so 0.75 rem like this. So what did I need again? What did I type? It should be gap, and flex direction should be colon VS Code. So load. Then inside that div, or inside this item wrapper, we have P. So this one too should be displayed as flex. It is all this item that is here. Display as flex. The gap should be no. The gap is not equal. The gap is not equal. Or let me just use equal gap. So gap should just be 0.5 rem like this for now. So the gap should just be this. Save and bring out the results. Yeah, so as you can see, it has been saved. So inside this P, we have span, but I want to select the first one first. So first of type, there are three span there. So I'm selecting the first of type. Where are you? So the first span that is here, the color is different. The color is this, and it's using the like this one. I think it should be let me see, where's our index? Okay, I think it is this 500 rows. So the color should be var rows 500. No, yeah, I think it is this red, and it is bold. Font weight, I think it is 600. It's not bold, just close to bold. Let me use 600, or if 600 is too much, I will use 500. I think let me see, 500. Okay, I think 500 should be okay. So let's select the second and the third one. I don't think I need the second one. I need it to. Some color too is different. So to select the second one, we need to use nth of type, and we supply 2. And for this one is going to be last of type. So for this one, the color is not red. So which color is it using? The first one and the second are actually using the same color. The difference is just that one of them is bold. So I think it should be this 300. Let me type 300. So rows 300. So rows 300. Nah, it is not. I think it is 200. Do we have 200? I don't think so, but the thing did not work. Yeah, it is 100. Let's go back to its original stuff. So 100 shoes. I will have to go with this 300. I don't know. So this one now, this one is not having any weight. This one is 700. Saved for now, but this color is not making it looking nice. This is not the color. Which color are you now using? Is it now? Oh, it should be this. Let me try this 50. Because the color now is not making it looking nice the way it's supposed to be. Nah, about 400. Or about, so that one did this. So that one is here. I think this should be it. This should be it. This should be it. This should be it. So that's it. Then let's work on this icon. So what class do we give it? Okay, we have button, we have button inside this item wrapper. So item wrapper, we have button. The background should be transparent because we don't want to see the button. We have the image. The border should be none like this. Padding, is that the size of this? No, without border, 1 pixels. Solid, that's var rose 500. It's usually the same color as that one. Padding should just be point. Let me give it height and width first. Height, let me use 30 pixels. The width should be 30 pixels because that's the only time we can turn it. So border radius, VS code, what's going on, 50%, and let us save. So we should have, yeah. So I need padding for the image. We always expand anyhow. Padding should just be maybe around this 0.5 REM. And again, too, I think this 30 is too much. Yeah, this 30 is too much. 20, 20. Yeah, it is okay, but this 125, this is 2 pixels. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. So we have the button that we can click on and we have our items, but there's a problem. The problem is that we did not take care of this line that is in between each one of them. So how do we create that line? I forgot about that. So we need to do it here. So this is where we're going to do it. So border bottom, because it's at the bottom, is going to be 1 pixels. Solid, then that our values, I think is 100. If I'm not then saved. And as you can see now, we have it, but there is a problem. It's not getting to the edge. And why it's not getting to the edge? So why is it not getting to the edge? Is because I had it to the wrong side. So I'm adding it to the P instead of adding it to the wrapper itself. It's supposed to get to the edge. Yeah, so it's there now. And as you can see, that spacing is there because I've already added all these padding at the top. If I remove this padding, you see that it will jump back together. So that's why I have to create this padding that time. So this is the top one. This is the other side, the right. This is the bottom, which is now 1 RM. So that's the one that gave it this spacing and the bottom part like that. I think it's more than that safe. So 1.125, which is 18 pixels there. So saved, and let us check. I think it is okay like this. So scroll down and we're going to have all these items. So in order for this thing to look like the design that we have there, so we can just disable or remove. So I only leave 3 like this. But on small screen, we should allow the height to be more than this. But let me just leave it like that for now. As you can see, it looks like what we have there because it's not. And let me increase the height too. I think that 300 is too small. So let me increase it to 400. So it should kind of expand more. Yeah, so we have all our items, but there is something that is missing. What is missing is the modal. So what is missing is the modal, and that's what we'll be working on in the next class there because this is 410. These people have been messaging me already. Yeah, so this is what we're going to work on. But this one now, there are two designs for it. It's not the same thing on the, you see what we have on the mobile, but on the desktop, the thing is actually a cover stuff. So we need to, that's why I don't want to rust the stuff because of this design stuff. And chai. So the same, there's a lot of thing about this model because now it have its own item list. And as you can see that the same thing we are seeing here is what we are going to see. The difference is just that this one you cannot remove. So you want to confirm the order. So whatever you have there, it have to display here too. Just that it's the UI is a little bit different. This one is showing image. Yeah, we're going to work on this one in the next class there. And this is how it's going to look like on the mobile, because it's like this on the mobile. It's covered up the entire stuff on the mobile. So we're going to work on this in the next class. So let me enter the mobile responsiveness of this thing. And this thing should look nice here too, because it's the same design for the two of them. So we have this. And the next class now, we work on our modal. And after the modal, we now connect everything together so that when you click on something here, you see it here live. So that's what we're going to. But first, we need to work on that modal first so that we know that all the UI are ready. We just need to connect the this thing together. So that will be all. So stop.